Picture a scene. You're working on the train line in a fairly menial role for just over a year, and you're fired for incompetence caused by alcoholism. It's highly unlikely you would expect such an occasion to be marked by blue plaques and statues in your honour. However, here on the train line between Luddenden Foot and Sowerby Bridge Station, we do commemorate that person, and he was Branwell Bronte. Hey everybody, Matt back with you. Hope you're doing okay. Just a few days ago, Danielle and I were at the Bronte birthplace in Thornton, the house where the famous Bronte sisters were born. But also born there was the brother, Branwell Bronte. And he would go on to have a legacy of his own. Still remembered very well, and he was talented, but he never achieved the same kind of heights that his sisters would eventually go on to do. They are obviously famous for things like Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre, Agnes Grey, that sort of thing. But Branwell kind of kept with writing, but also drawing and artwork. But by 1940, things are not quite working out, and he took a job on the railway. And he ended up working at two different stations, Sowerby Bridge Station and then at Luddenden Foot Station. Now, obviously, there are scholars and people who do dissertations on the Brontes who will know a lot more about it than I do. And I'm kind of doing this one because it's been requested. Somebody has asked me for more Branwell Bronte. I think specifically pubs that he frequented. But I'm decided to do the stations instead. I thought it was an interesting year, and I'm just going to take you to some locations and see what's there today. And that's kind of it. It's just a short video. As I say, if you want more information, there will be a lot more things out there that I just won't know or be able to cover. So I hope that makes sense, and we're going to start at the first place we believe he moved to when he left Haworth. I think he may have moved to Halifax, but Haworth, Halifax, but he ended up living at Brearley. Let's head there first. This could be a confusing video. I hope I learn things as well. So Branwell Bronte was born here on the 26th of June 1817, and he was the only son out of 6 children to Patrick Bronte. As a child, he immersed himself in stories, sketches, and elaborate fantasy worlds with his sisters. He was talented in languages, drawing and poetry, and was for a time considered the most gifted of the Bronte children. He worked as a portrait painter, a writer, poet, and later a tutor. But he is also well known for a troubled life, alcohol, drugs, mental health issues, and unfulfilled literary ambitions. So Branwell moved to Brearley Hall, and this area behind me is Brearley, and it is kind of just on the edge of Mytholmroyd and Luddenden Foot. Now, I'm not entirely sure which one Brearley Hall is. There are, if you look amongst the trees, some really big houses, and they're all lived in and all private. But Branwell took up lodgings inside one of those, whichever one is Brearley Hall. In fact, there's even one there. It's suddenly got very sunny, you probably can't see anything. But yeah, I'm not sure which one it is. I'll see if I can find out. So Brearley Hall has a date stone of 1636 on it. And in the 1841 census, Branwell is listed as lodging here. Okay, so this is Station Road leading up to Sowerby Bridge Station, and it's not a manned station anymore. If you want a ticket from here, you've got to buy from a machine. But the station office, the original station office, is still here. I think it's the original one, but we'll find out when we get to it. So I wonder if those there are part of the original line. Would the track have run on there and then gone on the right hand side of the ticket office? And there are some historic photos of Sowerby Bridge Station that show there's been quite a lot of changes here. Okay, so it's now apparently the Jubilee refreshment room, but here we are. And if you look at the light fittings, we've all got these what look like green dragons, but these are also found indoor market at Halifax, and apparently they're not dragons. There's something like wyverns, something like that. Could be wrong. Hope I've pronounced that right. And there we have the blue plaque. Branwell Bronte was employed by the Manchester and Leeds Railway at Sowerby Bridge's first station as assistant clerk in charge, October 1840 to March 1841, for just 6 months. So I think it might be open. Let's have a look. Okay, right.
3 cars in the window.
Yeah.
It's that window there where I've just pointed to. So
Yeah.
there is here.
Okay.
That disappeared in 1980.
Oh wow.
That's taken around about 1980 after a small fire occurred in the booking hall there.
Right.
Local teenagers thought it was a waste to light some paper and it got out of control.
Oh gosh, right,
Took
okay.
the roof off. There was a canopied roof there.
Yeah.
You can see the arms of it. Canopied roof there, burnt down, damage here, water damage, smoke damage upstairs. British Rail decided at that point they'd had enough. We'll get a crane and a ball and chain, and one July Friday evening they knocked it down.
Wow. So that is the original booking office then?
That is the original 1876 station.
Wow.
With our flying wing here.
Okay. Ah, right. So 1876, which means that is still
Branwell
after
Bronte
Branwell.
never worked here.
No. Okay. But still, it's still an historic building, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So would there have been an original office where he worked, or
not there?
Not here. No. Okay.
I'll show you where we did.
Right.
You see, we're going that far back that photography was only available.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very few people had a camera.
So that's quite interesting. So that's where I've just been and saw the picture of the original booking office here at Sowerby Bridge Station, now long gone. There's just that small section left, but it wasn't the original location of the booking office. The booking office that Branwell would have worked in is where Tesco is now. So although the line's the same, the kind of station itself is very, very different place. It wasn't here, or maybe this was a branch of it, but yeah. Branwell's booking office is long gone, decades gone, and that picture we saw is the only known picture of the booking office where Branwell did work, just that drawing. However, here at Sowerby Bridge Station we've got this is called the Bronte Garden, and see there is a plaque as well here with info all about Branwell too. But after 6 months he was promoted and ended up at another train station which is also definitely long gone, which is Luddendenfoot, and we're going to head on the canal and see if we can spot what's there today. So it's quite interesting how information can change, because when I did my research for this, I knew there was no point going to an in-depth video on Branwell himself. I just wanted to focus on the stations, and I'm finding things out that, you know, you can't find this information anywhere. It's like I wasn't aware Sowerby Bridge Station was somewhere else entirely. Certainly that the booking office where Branwell would have worked was where Tesco is now, and has been gone for centuries pretty much. And yeah, where he lived, the only info I could find of him living around here, he may have lived in Halifax and then moved to Luddenden, to Branwell Hall, which is where we started this video. That's now a suggestion that might not have happened, that he lived in a long, like century-long demolished house in Sowerby Bridge. Or he could have done both. Maybe he lived at Branwell when he worked at Luddenden Foot. Maybe he lived in Sowerby Bridge when he worked at Sowerby Bridge. I don't know is the answer. But somebody, there will be scholars of Branwell who may be able to tell me. So feel free to comment. I'm very happy to be told this information. So although it's a little bit of a distant memory, there was for a while a sculpture of Branwell Bronte here, a carved kind of tree trunk sculpture. I'll try and find a picture of it. Unfortunately, at least a decade ago, maybe more, somebody set fire to it, and that is sadly all that's left of it. So yeah, not much to see anymore. Okay, so now we're in Luddenden Foot, and this is where Branwell was promoted and moved to work at Luddenden Foot Station as clerk in charge, where he was paid £70 a year, paid quarterly. And he was here for a few months from 1841. Now, the station is long gone, but there are a surprising number of black and white photos of it, and there is something very definite there today that we can find that is in those photographs. But will we find anything that also commemorates Branwell's time here? Okay, so I'm on, I think, station approach, something like that, heading over the river. Very swollen today. And if I'm right, we're just off to the right into this industrial centre. Now, whether they're in their original spots or what, I don't know for definite, but on the old photographs you can see these kind of this entranceway to the station. I don't imagine this is the original road in, so I presume they will have changed, but yeah, they're still there and you can see them on the old photos. But it does say Old Station Road, so I'm going to guess they are in the same place and this is the road. And just here, as I don't fall over, is Branwell. Now, a lot of people don't like this statue. I'm going to not give you my opinion, but you are allowed to have any opinion you like on it. Does it look like him? Not sure. And it's certainly gone quite green now, but holding a book, I cannot think as roses blow. But he is kind of standing here in where the original booking office would have been. So what's your thoughts on that statue? Let me know. But you can see how close we are now to the railway station. Just past this fence here. We're not going to be able to get any closer, I don't think. But yeah, this is where Luddenden Station was, and this is where Branwell was fired. Yeah, I can't get any nearer, unfortunately, without being stung. You can see the line at least. Oh, spiders. One place I did want to show you was the Lord Nelson Inn up in the village of Luddenden, which Branwell is known to have frequented quite often. Unfortunately, time is just against me today, and it's kind of a mile uphill and then a mile back, and as you can see, I'm miles from anywhere anyway. So I'll put a picture on, and maybe one day we will do a little wander around some of the pubs that Branwell is known to have visited, but not today. In March 1842, a deficit of £11 on the accounts for the Manchester and Leeds Railway was discovered. This was blamed on Branwell, but it suggested this wasn't fraud, more negligence of leaving the money available to another worker to steal. It is said that he owed a large debt to one of his drinking establishments in Halifax, the Old Cock Inn, so he returned to Haworth by the end of 1842. He was applying for tutoring positions by then, and in 1843 Branwell would cause more scandal by having an affair with his employer. On 24th of September 1848 he passed away aged just 31 due to alcoholism, addiction and tuberculosis, and is buried in the family vault in Haworth. Okay folks, there we go. That is the story of Branwell Bronte and his time in the Calder Valley, specifically working for the train stations. And yeah, as you know, tragically none of the Brontes survived long at all, and Branwell, I think, was only 31 when he passed away, so 6 years after being dismissed from here at Luddendenfoot. We know the legacy of the other Brontes, the sisters and their books. I think Branwell's is slightly more sketchy, but even if you get sacked from a job, you know, you get commemorated if the name fits. I'm only kidding. Take care guys, we'll see you very soon for the next video. If you're interested in the video we did at Thornton in the Bronte birthplace, I'll put the links on at the end. Like, share, comment and subscribe. Look at our shop on T-Mill, and we'll see you very soon for the next video.